Hey guys, we're hip deep in the battle with Grendel. Ugh, my edges. Okay, so when we last left, Grendel is trying to get away from Beowulf. Beowulf has his arms shackled and Grendel is wailing. Well, then his men did something that I'm not sure Beowulf would have approved of. All of a sudden, they go and attack Grendel. They tried to slice him with their swords to help Beowulf out, even though Beowulf expressly said, hey, I'm fighting him alone. But then they discovered something. Have you guys ever wondered how Grendel was able to terrorize for 12 years and never sustained a single wound? Well, it's because he's magical. No blade, no arrow, no spear, no hatchet is capable of penetrating his skin. And that gives him one heck of an advantage. So all the men are stabbing at him and their swords are just going off him. They're just repelling from his flesh. It's not damaging him in the slightest. But he had conjured the harm from the cutting edge of every weapon, but his going away out of this world in the days of his life would be agony to him, and his alien spirit would travel far into fiend's keeping. Then he had harrowed the hearts of men with pain and affliction in former times, and had given offense also to God, found out that his bodily powers failed him. Heliac's kinsmen kept him helplessly locked in a hand grip. As long as either lived, he was hateful to the other. The monster's whole body was in pain. A tremendous wound appeared on his shoulder. Sinews split and the bone lappings burst, and Beowulf was granted the glory of winning. Sinews split, wounds on his shoulder. Guys, what did Beowulf do? He ripped Grendel's arm clean off his body. Grendel was driven under the fen banks, fatally hurt to his desolate lair. So fatally means he's dying, he's going to die. So Grendel runs away with his arm ripped off, just bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. And pretty soon he's going to bleed out and die as he tries to make it back to his lair. His days were numbered, and the end of his life was coming over him. He knew it for certain, and one bloody clash had fulfilled the dearest wishes of the Danes. The man who had lately landed among them, proud and sure, had purged the hall, kept it from harm. He was happy with his night work, and the courage had shown. The Geat captain had boldly fulfilled his boast to the Danes. He had healed and relieved a great distress, unremitting humiliations, the hard fate they'd been forced to undergo, no small affliction. Clear proof of this could be seen in the hand the hero displayed high up upon the roof, the whole of Grendel's shoulder and arm, his awesome grasp. So Beowulf has just ripped the arm and holding it up so all the warriors could see that he, in fact, defeated this beast. All right, and then finally, as part of this, so the next day, all of the Geats, the warriors in the kingdom, they went to Grendel's lair, and they found all of this blood, and they saw that Grendel had in fact bled out. And the last stanza of this chapter, at times the war band broke into gallop, letting their chestnut horses race. Yet there was no laying of blame on their lord, the noble Hrothgar. He was a good king. At times the war band broke into a gallop, letting their chestnut horses race wherever they found the going good on those well-known tracks. Meanwhile, a thane of the king's household, a carrier of tales, a traditional singer deeply schooled in the lore of the past, linked a new theme to a strict meter. The man started to recite with skill, rehearsing Beowulf's triumphs and feats in a well-fashioned lines, entwining his words. So what this is important is that the Danes did not hate their king Hrothgar. They still valued him as a king. They just knew there was nothing he could do. And the last stanza is all of the singers in the castle and Heorot are already starting to write songs about Beowulf. Because remember, that's how stories were told. Their songs were written.